we find that the Muslims put bid'ah on top of bid'ah, innovation on top of innovation. Why? Why? Because Islam as a system of law does not work.
Shush!
Okay, answer the question.
Shush!
Don't talk about the Bible.
You're talking about morality, yes? You're talking about morality. Hold on, how can you speak to me when your book says...
Is the Dawah team ashamed of their own prophet? Is the Dawah team ashamed of their own book? They are ashamed to defend their own religion. Because their religion is shameful.
You do believe that God ordered infants and babies to be killed, you do?
In the past, yes.
So yeah, but it was still God, she was all-knowing.
Yes.
But so you believe that babies can be killed?
I believe
so how
that,
could you talk to me?
No, once again, non sequitur logic has been used. He is saying that because I believe God did something in the past, in a particular historical context, that means that I believe God is commanding me to do it today. To fight against injustice. And Islam is the embodiment of injustice. It is unjust to Christians.
How is it?
It is unjust to Jews. It is unjust to women. It is unjust to slaves. This is a philosophy and a religious system that any man of good conscience should oppose.
No, but
If your conscience disagrees with Islam as yours does, one second.
You said something about
If
innovation.
your
I just want to talk about
conscience
that.
disagrees with Islam as yours does,
We got the scholar now, yeah?
then follow your conscience, because your conscience is leading you out of
I'm
Islam.
asking you very quickly.
Your question.
So, you said something about innovation, right? You said something about Islam being against innovation.
Yes.
Could you please tell me how you came to that conclusion?
Certainly. He's asking the question, how do I know that Islam is against bid'ah, innovation? The reason why I know...
Let him finish.
The reason why I know is because in reading Islamic books written by Islamic scholars and Islamic pamphlets written by Muslim missionaries, and in speaking to imams in mosques, they have told me collectively that Islam denies innovation and bid'ah, and equates bid'ah as a sin only trumped by the sin of shirk.
Alright, so can I give you one example, bro? And then we can discuss it, right?
There's
so
many examples.
Alright, so I'll give you one example. So in Islam, you have to be buried within 24 hours, right? It's kind of like a mandatory requirement.
Yes.
However, in cases in England, for example, you can't really do it very quickly, right?
Yes.
Because of legal things.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that was before, you couldn't donate your organs because you couldn't do it, right? It wasn't allowed. In Islam, it wasn't allowed. A lot of scholars got together, had a conference, and decided that due to medical advancements in the world, you could donate as a Muslim your organs, because medicine has allowed us to operate on our bodies within 24 hours and be buried. And as a result, that thing that was not allowed before is allowed now. And therefore, I can become a donator of organs. I can help people. I can literally give out my organs, whereas before it wasn't. And therefore, that is I don't know what else is innovation. I can't explain it any other way.
May I reply?
Sorry?
Are those not fringe examples?
How is that a fringe
May I
example?
reply?
If many
I
scholars
reply?
came together, of course you can. But I'm just going to reply
May
to
I
him.
reply?
I will.
Okay,
just,
so the brother is talking about innovation, and he's giving an example of innovation in Islam,
Yeah, sure.
that Islam now permits the body transplant of organs. And he's saying that this justifies innovation in Islam. I have 2 points to say to this. Firstly, I find it curious that when it's a topic that could make Islam look acceptable to all of you, suddenly he's an expert. But when it came to talking about a topic that would embarrass Islam, suddenly he was ignorant. I find that curious. I don't know how you find it.
Well, you didn't
My
really
second
answer my
point-
question, bro.
My second point is that this proves that Islam is not a perfect religion, that Muhammad never revealed a
I'm
perfect
talking about
system of laws,
innovation, bro. We talked about
because
one
the
point.
Muslims themselves
Let's talk about
have
one
had
point.
to
One by
improve
one.
on Islam. So the Islam brought by Muhammad was Islam Mark 1, and the Islam of today is Islam Mark 5
So
or
let me
6
let me
or
say
7.
something that you are a
Because
paradox,
generation
right? Let me give you the
after
paradox that you just
generation
said.
of Muslims, despite forbidding bid'ah in their books, are willing to innovate whenever it becomes necessary because Sharia law is outdated
But,
or
sir,
unapplicable because
aren't you
of some
contradicting yourself?
socio-economic or political
But
circumstances.
you're contradicting yourself. First, you want innovation in Islam, but when it does happen, you're saying no, I don't want that. What actually is happening is you guys are doing that to get us to go follow you.
Yes.
Bro, you're very contradictory, okay? You have hate in your heart for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't hate you.
know? No,
I
but
stated that openly
you no, but
in
I
front
don't
of
understand
everybody.
why.
I like you.
Listen, bro.
Because
I have no
you
problems.
you are in favor of tolerance.
No.
I only wish
Islam,
that the
Islam
Muslims
itself.
in
Tigers
Saudi
have more
Arabia.
chance
No,
of becoming
no.
vegetarian than Muslims renovating.
Bro, at the end of the day, man, we're all humans. We can all follow a faith, whatever we want. At the end of the day, you can follow Christianity, I can follow Islam. As long as we respect each other, which I have no reason to not think that, bro. I will discuss with you, bro. I have no problem with discussing with you. You know, in the essence of every religion is peace. I don't understand why you feel as though we are encroaching on whatever you feel like.
Of course, yes. But you shouldn't have done in Islam. That's the problem.
When you come to a new land as a Muslim, you follow the laws of that land.
Yes,
Whoever
Prophet
is
commanded you to
saying
close
you
it.
need to get Sharia law
That's
here
Satan.
is something is wrong with them because
Oh,
you
it has to be
can't
a white
you
dog
can't
is
do
okay.
that in a country.
Yeah, a black dog is
Okay,
Satan.
But there is no Sharia law. Where have you seen that?
You don't know your
So-
religion or you're lying.
But bro, like you haven't seen that.
The point that I would make to you,
But that's what I
the
mean.
point that I would make
I
to you
I can read something.
is that when you look at Islam, according to the texts, according to the teachings of the Islamic scholars,
No, bro.
bid'ah is considered a sin. And thus, we can conclude that in theory, Islam was a perfect religion at the time of its revelation. However, when we look historically, we find that the Muslims put bid'ah on top of bid'ah, innovation on top of innovation. Why? Why? Because Islam as a system of law does not work. It did not work for the Muslims in the 7th century. It doesn't work for the Muslims in the 10th century. And it does not work for the Muslims in the 21st century. Which is why they have to innovate. Christians, by contrast, do not follow a system of laws.
But you don't change.
We follow an ethic of love. And this ethic of love is applicable whether you are a pygmy in the Amazonian rainforest, an Eskimo in the North Pole, or a banker on the streets of London. Love as a system has no legality. There is no law that needs to be applied to love. It only needs to be cultivated into the heart and pushed outwards into society. I will give you an example to demonstrate the point. Muslims fast in Ramadan. This is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. And the fasting periods of Islam are decided by the telling of white cotton from black at the rising of the sun. So what do you do in Greenland when the sun only rises and sets 2 times a year and you have 6 months of darkness? Islam doesn't accommodate that fact, and nor does the Quran, because the author of the Quran assumed that the world was the same over, that the sun rised and set every day in every place, which is obviously not true, and a proof that it is not of divine authorship. However, Christians are commanded to love. So what does it matter if the sun rises or sets only twice a year? The application of the ethic is the same. And as such, Christianity is a truly universal faith, applicable in its original form without innovation, unlike Islam. Question.
Just tell us, your beautiful religion now, you've been telling us that Christianity is perfect. Tell us when Jesus come back, what will happen to me? What is that?
He will judge you.
What will happen to non-Christian?
He will judge you. So, he asks me what will happen to the non-Christian.
He's forgiving as
And
well.
I say without shame or embarrassment that those who die in their sin, having not kissed the ring of the sun, having rejected God's offer of salvation, freely given, whilst you were yet sinners,
What will happen?
you will pay the consequence of that sin and be judged
It sounds like
and
ISIS
cast
to me.
into
It sounds
hell.
like ISIS to me.
Now,
What's the difference?
I will show you the
Either you follow my
hypocrisy
religion or
of
I'm
this
gonna
man.
kill you, or
Do you
you'll be
want to
doomed in
see
hell
his
forever.
hypocrisy?
Yes.
According to Islam,
Tell me.
what will happen
Tell
to a
me.
Christian on the day of judgment?
Excuse me, the Christian judgment? I don't
What
have
will
no
happen?
idea. I have no idea.
He's suddenly
I
ignorant.
have no idea.
He's suddenly ignorant.
I'm not ignorant. I have no
Your
idea.
sin-
Because number one,
He does not want to answer the question.
His sins will be put on I will never what's going to happen to you. Maybe God will forgive you.
He is.
But you,
The hadith about his sins being put onto Christians.
He is using taqiyya. Notice that when he was able,
one second.
when he was able
second.
to talk
One
about
second.
Islam
One second.
in a way that sounded
second.
positive,
One second.
he was a scholar.
Excuse me.
But when he talks about
Will you
Islam
excuse me?
in a
Will
way
you
that
excuse
may
me?
be embarrassing, suddenly he's
Can I
ignorant.
switch you off, please?
So let me answer his question. According to Islam,
Yes.
those who reject Allah,
Yes.
it will not be accepted of them. They will be counted amongst the unbelievers and cast into hell.
No.
So it's exactly the same.
The question you ask me, what will happen to me? I said, I don't know. But what will happen to the non-believers, the people who didn't believe in God? They will go to hell. That's for sure.
I don't believe in Allah.
And especially,
sorry,
and
Christianity
especially,
doesn't
and
believe in
especially
hell.
the Christian, because they take, association with God. You guys have a big problem.
Association with God.
Yes.
Do you hear? What do you mean by association with God? Give me an
basically
example.
Jesus
just address this
and God and the Holy Spirit. You
Okay.
worship the three.
So a man has been accusing me of ignorance of his religion.
Yes.
Suddenly is an expert in my own faith.
Yes.
Let me be clear. We Christians believe that there is only one God,
And Jesus.
that there is no God worthy to be
And
worshipped,
Jesus.
and that there is no God besides God.
And Jesus.
That God is one in himself
In three.
without division.
By one get two.
And
three.
we believe that this one God exists as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, indivisible, one divine Trinity. The word Trinity itself is Latin. It means unity within three. It does not mean three gods.
No.
The Muslim is wrong because his Quran is wrong. The Quran says that we worship three gods because it contrasts that to the worship of one God, implying that saying not three is worshipping three gods.
No, it's the Holy
Unfortunately for him, his Allah is mistaken.
No, it's not.
His Allah is wrong.
No, it's not.
His Allah has misdescribed
It's not.
the beliefs of the Christians and has such demonstrated again,
Hold on.
evidently,
Hold on.
that it is not of divine
Hold
authorship.
on, hold on. Is Jesus God?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You believe in the Bible, yes? Yeah. Okay. You believe in. You got your Bible, yeah? 1 Samuel 15:3. Do you believe in this verse?
In what sense do you mean, do I believe in it? Do I believe that it happened?
You believe in the Bible as a whole, yes?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Do you believe in this verse?
Go on.
Now go and completely destroy the entire Amalekite nation.
Yep.
Men, women, children, and babies, yeah? Cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and donkeys.
Yes.
Do you believe in that?
Let me bring Quran.
I believe that historically happened, yes.
So you believe it's okay to kill babies and infants, yeah?
Okay, so the question is this. The brother quotes the Old Testament when God commanded the Israelites to destroy the Amalekites in their entirety, man, woman, child, sheep, and beast. And I said, I believe that historically happened. But then he says, so you believe that you should kill women and children, beasts and animals. This is non sequitur logic used consistently by the Islamic Dawah team. I believe it happened in history. I don't believe I have to do it myself.
Yes.
But you believe that.
According to the Quran, do you believe that you should wage war against those who do not believe in Allah until they willingly pay the jizya and feel themselves subdued?
Okay.
Do you believe?
I'll answer your question, but I just want to go over what you just said. So you do believe, because you will not find this in the Quran, but it tells you in the Quran or the Sunnah that you should kill babies and infants, yes? I'm saying to you, do you believe that God ordered a group of people to kill babies and infants and animals, yes or no?
Okay. I asked him a question and he didn't answer it.
No, he's asking first.
I answered his question directly and I asked him a question in reply and he did not answer it. However, despite his cowardice, I will answer his second question. I will answer his second question. Even though he does not answer my question, I will answer his question. I do believe that in the Bronze Age, in that brutal and savage time, God did command the Israelites to do brutal and savage things. I believe it. I do not believe that sets a precedent that the church has to follow today. Now I will ask you again for the second time. I am going to ask you again for the second time.
Come on.
Do you believe? Do you believe?
Answer the question.
Surah 4:24. Let's just get that out.
Read it, Bob.
Surah 4.
Surah 4:24. Yes.
Who's got the dodgiest book? That's what I want.
Do you believe that in jihad
The dodgiest
instituted by a legitimate caliphate following Sharia law, that women are prohibited to you, all those that are married, except those whom your right hands possess, which are those women taken as captives during war as booty? Do you believe that you can do that? That you can take women?
no.
You don't.
No, I tell you
So-
why. I tell you why. So,
He's going against his Quran. He's a good guy.
He's going against.
we agree. You will never find anywhere in the Quran where it says you can kill babies, which you believe in. You believe that the merciful God tells you to kill babies. You believe your God said that. And you can kill infants. Yes? Okay. So you believe that. I don't believe that. Okay.
So,
We have slavery.
He's not answering the question.
we don't practice this.
I am answering.
We don't practice
I
this
am
anymore.
answering. I am answering. But you believe it's okay to kill babies and
We don't
infants,
practice
don't you?
this.
No, that is not what I
Islam
said.
does.
Notice how he didn't actually absorb the answer that I
I
gave
haven't
him.
finished.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I
Carry
haven't
on.
finished. You do believe that God ordered infants and babies to be killed? You do.
In the past, yes.
So yeah, but it was still God. She was all knowing.
Yes, yes.
But so you believe
Yes.
that babies can be killed?
I believe
So how
that-
could you talk to
No,
me?
once again, non sequitur logic has been used. He is saying that because I believe God did something in the past, in a particular historical context, that means that I believe God is commanding me to
don't
do
agree?
it today.
I'm not talking about. I'm not saying that.
In the
No,
past,
I'm not saying that.
what did he say?
babies,
What
but
did he
now
say?
you steal the babies.
Narrated
Remember in
I'm
the
not
by
saying
Abu
that. I'm
Sa'id
not saying that.
al-Khudri.
I'm not saying.
Remember, in Islam, it is not personal opinion that matters in what Islam stands for. The best interpreter of the Quran is Muhammad, and Muhammad's actions and deeds.
Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question?
You had your chance.
No.
Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri.
Listen,
That while
Like
he
a
was
rabbit. You're running
sitting
like a rabbit now.
with Allah's apostle, he said, "Oh, Allah's apostle." So Muhammad is the one being addressed. We get female captives as a share of booty. Now that's not the urban booty that's been spoken of. That's talking about women as being taken as captive slaves.
Do you know why I don't believe in
He says he doesn't believe in
I tell
it.
you why I don't. I tell you why I don't.
Allah's apostle
Can I tell you
said
why?
this.
Can I tell you why?
Allah's apostle
Can I tell
said
you why?
this. Allah's apostle said this. And we are interested in their prices. So you buy them and sell them like a McDonald's burger. What is your opinion about coitus interruptus? So that means that these Muslims were having sex with their slaves.
Okay, I'm asking.
The Prophet said,
Even Muhammad himself.
do you really do that?
Muhammad himself.
It is better for you not to do it. No soul, that which Allah has destined to exist, but will surely come into existence. So I'll ask you again, do you believe that you should or should not perform coitus interruptus with a slave taken? Okay, you disagree with your prophet. You're a better man than your
I
prophet.
tell you why.
Hold on.
You're a better man than your prophet.
I'm saying to you, if you accept that your book says that you can kill babies.
Yeah, but that's the Old Testament.
Calm down. Calm
Old
down.
Testament.
If you accept,
No one-
yeah, but you believe in the Old Testament.
No, we
So,
don't.
excuse me, if you believe that it's okay,
It's a
there's no
parable.
babies,
It's
there's
a
no
story.
no
Everybody
infants.
knows it. It's a story and a
Yeah,
parable.
calm down.
But
So,
Islam practically.
don't speak abusively to
Hold
her.
on, I'm not speaking of you.
Telling her to
She
calm down.
interrupted me.
She has the right to
She
speak.
interrupted me.
She has the right to
Did she
speak.
interrupt me?
She has the
Did I
right
say
to
shit?
speak.
Look at this. You see this? See the games we
Take
play?
the top free speech.
Okay.
More
Okay.
chivalry.
You should be
Okay,
respecting
I'm asking you a
more
question. Your book says that you can kill. Let me read your book, the holy book again. Yes? Now go and attack the Amalekites. Yeah, you believe in this? Totally destroy all that belongs to them. Yes? Listen to the word of God.
I'm listening.
Yes?
I did answer this the first time.
Let me start again.
Very clearly.
Now go and completely destroy.
I did answer
I've
this
got,
the first time.
I've got a code. Yeah, and I've got but let me do. Okay, now go and completely destroy the Amalekites nation. Men, women, children, babies, and cattle, sheep, goats, and camels. That's in your holy book, yes?
So what did you do?
Is there anything on this earth worse than killing babies? Yes or no? You have to think about it. Do you
Killing
want to
them.
phone a friend?
Killing me.
Is killing babies right or wrong?
Today would be wrong.
So no. Was it wrong when God said it was right?
No, it wasn't.
I think
It
we
wasn't.
did.
So it was okay.
It
At a
wasn't.
time in your book, it was okay to kill babies.
That's exactly
No,
what
can
I
I
said.
say something?
Exactly.
exactly said that.
Exactly.
I've said
We
that.
don't take the
So-
Bible
so
Why are you
literally.
pointing out to me what I
So what I'm
said
trying
as
to
if
say
you're
to you,
proving
your
something?
book says
We
that you
don't
can
take
kill.
the Bible
Your book says
literally.
you can kill babies.
The brother has
Yes,
simply
I've got-
repeated the question that I've already answered. But now I want him to comment on this.
Done practically.
You have said
But your book says you
that
can
you
kill
don't
babies.
We
believe.
don't take it
You
literally.
have said
your book
that
says
you
you can kill
don't
babies.
believe in taking women as war
But your book says
babies,
you can kill babies.
and you
How
don't
can you
believe
talk to me?
in
How can you talk
having
to me?
sex with slaves.
Your book says you can kill babies.
So was
How can you talk
Muhammad
to me?
right or wrong when he permitted it?
Your book says you can
Answer
kill
the
babies.
question.
There's nothing you can say to me. Your
Was
book, calm down.
Muhammad right or wrong
Listen carefully.
when
Look,
he
listen.
commanded his followers to take slaves and have sex
You
with
never
them?
heard it, did you? Your book.
He's not answering the question.
Bob, you don't
Answer
get
the
it.
question.
Your book says you can kill.
Answer the question.
Answer the
There's
question.
nothing you can.
Was Muhammad right or
I'm
wrong?
answering. Are you gonna let me?
Okay, answer the
There's
question.
nothing you can say to me. Your book says you can kill infants and
So
you
he's
can
not
kill
answering the
babies.
question. Answer the
There's nothing you
question.
can say to me.
Answer.
There's nothing you can say to
Answer
me.
the
There's
question.
nothing worse than killing a
Is
baby.
there anyone that would like to hear the answer to the question that I'm asking? Was Muhammad right or wrong? Okay.
You believe you
Answer
can
this.
kill babies.
Don't touch
There's
me.
nothing
Don't
to say.
touch.
Oh, come on, man. Look at these.
Answer this question.
Answer the
Look at these people.
Was Muhammad right or
Your
wrong
book says you can kill babies. You
Answer
can't
the
check
question.
when he had
practically
commanded
did it.
his followers
Your
to
book
Islam
says you
take
can kill
practically
babies.
slaves? Answer the question.
Islam
You
practically
can
did
kill
it.
babies.
He doesn't want to answer the
Islam
question.
practically did it.
Was Muhammad right or wrong when he
You can kill
permitted rape?
babies. You can kill babies. What
Okay,
are you talking to me for?
I'll give you an example.
What are you talking about?
According to the Hadith, Abu Dawud 2150 and Sahih al-Muslim
He believes you can kill babies. and
3433. The Apostle of Allah
Ali Asgar.
sent a military expedition to Atwas on the occasion of the Battle of Hunain. They met their enemy and fought with them. They defeated them and took them captives.
Like
Some
this,
of the companions
Samuel
of the
1:1.
Apostle
Like Samuel 1,
were
1:15.
reluctant intercourse with the female captives. That's called rape,
Excuse me.
by the way,
What practically Muhammad did.
in the presence of their husbands.
Excuse me.
In the presence of their husbands. Were unbelievers.
Hold on.
So Allah, the
Bob, you're
exalted,
lying.
sent down the Quranic verse,
Read it.
Surah 4:24. Surah 4:24 was the verse that we started with that he said he disagreed with. So I'll ask you again, stop touching me. I'll ask you again, answer the question. Was Muhammad right for permitting his followers to have sex with female captive
you finished?
slaves? Yes or no?
Have you
Answer.
finished?
Answer.
Doesn't the verse in Samuel 15?
He's not answering. He's not answering. Answer the question. Answer the question. Why are you frightened to answer the question?
Hold on. Doesn't your verse in Samuel say?
Okay, he doesn't want to answer the question. He doesn't want to answer the
You're not
question.
letting me speak. If you
Answer the question. You're asked about the hadith. Notice, he said I was lying.
But you know what?
Did you hear him say I was lying? I was just quoting his hadith.
So this is a
So if
lie.
I'm lying, his hadiths are lying.
This is a lie.
If I'm lying, his Quran is lying.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway, I'm gonna
Answer the question.
Since you're not letting me speak, I'm gonna go. All I'm gonna say is that.
Okay, he's
Hold on,
running away.
I'm gonna leave you with your verse.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave you with your verse of your book. Yes?
Don't go to the Bible.
Hold on.
Answer the question.
Deal with the Quran.
He's here to give dawah.
He's scared. He's scared of him.
This is a man who is here to give dawah. I implore you, as a kuffar, as a man of ignorance, educate me about Islam. Explain this hadith to me.
Don't talk about the Bible.
I want to learn the truth of Islam.
Talk about
Tell me. Okay, answer this question.
answer.
Answer the question.
Answer. Don't go to the Bible.
Jesus is Lord.
Lord, Everlasting Lord. Everlasting. Everlasting.
Okay, playtime is over. Playtime is over.
Okay.
Okay.
Answer the question.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this to you. You can't chat to me.
Yeah, let's go.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
We
I'm
want
gonna
answer.
leave you for your book.
Everyone wants the answer to my question.
You have no moral.
Everyone wants to hear the answer to my question.
We want to learn this. We want to learn this.
Deal with the Quran and
We
the
want to
Hadith.
learn.
Deal with the Quran and the Hadith.
We want to learn
Is the Dawah team ashamed of their own prophet? Is the Dawah team ashamed of their own book? They are ashamed to defend their own religion. Because their religion is shameful. Their religion is unjust. Their prophet was an unjust man. No one of a good conscience can follow this example. Jesus, in a time when slavery was normal, never had a slave.
He's not gonna let me
Never had a slave.
Okay, Bob. Okay, Bob.
Answer the question.
Shush.
He's going to answer the question. He's going to talk about the Hadith and Quran. He's going to answer the question about the Hadith and the Quran. Okay, answer the question.
Don't talk about the Bible.
You're talking about morality, yes? You're talking about morality.
Hadith and Quran.
Hold on. How can you speak to me when your book says?
He's not answering. He's not Answer the question. Are you proud of the teachings of your prophet?
What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
We are proud of our teachings of the Prophet.
What are you
Yes.
afraid of?
Maybe, perhaps the mighty Ali Dawah, the champion of the Dawah team, will answer the question. You have had your chance. I want to talk to Ali Dawah now.
Hold on.
Come forward, Ali. Come forward, Ali. Ali Dawah. Ali, I want to ask you the question. He's refused. No, it's finished. I want to ask you. I know, it's finished. I want to ask you. You had your chance. You had your chance. Ali, I want to ask you a question. It's finished. Come here. Come here, I want to ask you. Ali Dawah. Ali Dawah. Ali Dawah.
Hold on.
The champion of Islam. Here at Speakers Corner.
So Bob,
The great scholar of the Islamic Dawah
let me
team.
finish.
I want to ask you this question, Ali Dawah.
Let me finish my statement.
No.
Let me finish my statement.
I want to talk to Ali Dawah now.
No, I'm gonna finish.
I want to talk to Ali Dawah.
I'm gonna finish. Listen, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna read your verse from your book, and then I'm gonna.
Why are they frightened?
Come on.
I want to know.
I want to talk to you.
Let me finish. I'm gonna quote one verse. I'm gonna quote one verse, and I'm gonna go.
Answer the question.
I'm gonna quote one verse and go.
Ali Dawah says that I should answer the question. Those of you that have been here for the last 30 minutes, you heard me answer his question twice.
What are you afraid of?
He has not answered my question once.
What are you afraid of? Let me read it and go.
Stop touching me. 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 So,
You're an Islamophobe.
okay.
You're an Islamophobe.
So, you're a Christopher. This man is a Christopher. Christopher. He's a Christopher. Christopher. He's a Christopher. He's a Christopher.
What happened? What happened to freedom of speech?
Okay.
What happened to freedom of speech?
Suddenly, the Islamic Dawah team that shout people down at the corner every week suddenly want freedom of speech. How ironic! How ironic!
One verse and I'm going.
Ali Dawah.
One verse and I'm going.
Ali Dawah.
Let me read the one verse and I'm going. Let me read the one verse and go. What? Why are you afraid to hear one verse?
In Surah 4, you have 24.
I want to read one verse from your Bible and go. Why are you afraid of me reading one verse from your Bible?
Because I've already addressed this question. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called patting yourself on the back. Ali Dawah is a self-propagandist who endangered an innocent family because of his push against Tommy Robinson. Ali Dawah is a man who talks about masturbating over babies and is on record. Ali Dawah is a man who on his YouTube channel applauds Islamic scholars
Let's talk about Islam.
who support violence. This is Ali Dawah.
Welcome, Ali.
What do you read to? Do you know what? The Islamic Dawah team here at Speakers Corner.
Guys, look
Ali Dawah! Ali Dawah! Stop running away! Ali Dawah! Stop running away! The show's over here, folks. Ali Dawah! Ali Dawah! Ali Dawah!
With Muhammad when he went up the mountain.
Up the mountain.
Yeah, when Muhammad went and got his Quran, who was with him?
Okay, can you ask me why you asking me this question?
Because you believe it, right? So now I'm asking you to prove it's real, right? So you tell me who was with Muhammad when he went up the mountain to get the Quran? Who witnessed it?
Okay, firstly, my name's Ali.
Yeah, my name's Kevin.
Nice
Go
to
on.
meet you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Before we get into a discussion,
go on.
can we have an agreement that I don't want to shout over nobody. I don't want no one to shout over me. I want to use my freedom of speech to have a dialogue with Kevin.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Ali Dawah is
Now,
running away.
what I want to talk about,
What
is the following.
If I forced myself into this conversation, it would be discourteous.
Can I use my freedom of speech
So
to express
I can
myself?
talk here as well.
Go.
So the question that I wanted answering from Ali Dawah that he has now run away from, and he's unfortunately using Kevin to escape from the conversation,
Do you agree with these attacks?
is with reference to Surah 424, which reads,
extremist far right.
also prohibited are women already married, except
So we can
those
agree with
whom
Kevin
your right
that
hands
both
possess.
me and himself, we
And
disagree
this was in
with
relation
extremist
to an
Muslims who are running
incident
people over,
in
and we both
Muhammad's
disagree
life
with far right,
when the
maniac,
Muslim
neo-Nazis,
community
Nazis killing
had
people.
captured slaves
So now
in
we
a
have
war,
Okay, let's first of all,
and we're
first
asking
of all,
questions
what is the definition
about
of
whether
far
it was
right person?
permissible to have sex with them.
Okay, I'll tell you what definition is.
And
A
Sahih
person wants a
al-Bukhari, Sahih
ethno-state,
al-Muslim,
an all
and
white
Sahih
colour.
Abu
I
Dawud
don't want that.
state
You
the
want-
following,
no, so I'm not
talking
far
about
right,
this
you're not
event.
far
They
right.
say
Is
this.
that
Yeah,
correct
yeah.
definition?
The
Yeah, that
Apostle
is
of Allah
exact definition.
sent a military
Someone who wants
expedition
an
to
ethno-state.
Autaz
That's the only
on the
definition.
No, that's what it
occasion of the
means.
Battle of
Yeah,
Hunayn.
right.
They
Because
met their enemy and fought
Islam
with them.
is far right.
They defeated them
Well, think
and
about
took
it, you
them
can only go in a
captives.
community if you're
Some of the
Muslim.
companions of the
no, that's
Apostle
far
of
right. That's
Allah
far right.
were
Yeah, that is
reluctant
far right,
to
yeah.
have
But that's not true.
intercourse
That is true.
with the female captives
No, you
in the
claim that
presence
Muhammad
of their
went up the mountain.
also
Who
prohibited
was
are
with him
women
when he went
already
up the mountain?
married,
So how am I
except
meant to
those
read that? What, you tell
whom
me
your
if
right
I walk
hands
over there, come back with a
possess.
book and go, oh, God's given me a book.
So,
What? You're going to believe me?
No, that's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
go on,
I
tell me.
am
What we do is
asking
we're
the
gonna address it
Muslims
as a whole, yeah?
Yeah, no, we'll start
whether
from the
this is
beginning
an
of the lie.
example that they
It's a
would wish
lie.
to
I
follow
want to go back
today.
to the lie.
And of course,
The Quran, they went up the mountain.
good
Yeah.
Muslims
So we don't wanna
reject
talk
this
about the
example.
branches, we wanna
Of
talk
No,
course
no,
they
let's talk
do.
about the root where
There are
the
lots of
lie
good
where it
Muslims.
started from. Go on.
So
But
why don't
Muhammad
we
is
do
not
this,
good,
yeah? These
and the
attacks
Quran
that
is
have
not
been
No,
good.
you know, you went off the
The
point.
hadiths
Tell
are
me
not an
how
example for us to
Muhammad
follow.
got his book.
As a result,
How did Muhammad?
if your
the question you're
conscience
asking
cannot
me-
follow
I'm
your
asking
teacher,
you, where did
you need
Muhammad
to
get his
find
book from?
a better
All this
teacher.
love-
We must
mind.
oppose
I
Islam,
don't.
a system
Asking
of
he does.
laws that are
I'm not
innately
Christian.
unjust.
I know.
Exactly.